Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining us here at the Trusted House Painter Academy. Today, we are talking about insurance, and specifically, we want to be finding out as a painter and as a business owner who's got your back. If you get sick or if you get injured and you can't work, who's going to pay you? So, today, we're talking with Janelle Anderson. Janelle, welcome.
Hi, thank you.
Yes, thank you for joining us. Janelle is a insurance specialist for living benefits right here on Vancouver Island, and she works all the way across Canada. So, Janelle, thanks for joining us today. We're going to talk a little bit about what you do and how we can help the painters and the business owners here in this group. So, what is it that you do?
Awesome. Thanks, Clayne. Thanks for having me here today. What we specialize in is we specialize providing a cash benefit in the case of an injury or an illness sustained at work or outside of work, specifically if you're in a high-risk occupation or self-employed and things like that.
Okay, excellent. So let's paint a little picture here, pun not intended. So our listeners are painters and they're business owners, and
Okay.
painting is very physical, and they're always moving up and down ladders and carrying sprayers and gear and stuff like that. So sometimes working smart isn't enough, and they need to work hard in order to earn a good living. So one day
Mhm.
something unexpected happens, say they're sick or they injured, they can't work. They need to pay the bills. The lack of income creates a problem for them. What I've experienced is that I often rush back to work, and that's not what's best for people when they need to take that time away from work. So we want to help people with that struggle because that hiccup in the cash flow can create a problem. So how do you help out in that situation specifically?
Right, exactly. Thanks, Clay. So a lot of people are familiar with WCB and that type of thing, and sometimes they're not the easiest company to go through. And sometimes the injuries or illnesses happen outside of work, meaning that you can't claim through them anyway. So what we do is we make sure that you're covered either at work or outside of work, and we make sure that you have the income coming in order to help you take the time off work that you need, so you're not rushing back to work and things like that. So a couple things that we do that's different than WCB and things like that is we don't do any waiting periods. So our coverage starts right from day one. So for example, as you're talking about being on ladders and carrying equipment, if someone's on a ladder and they fall off and they break their arm, well, they can get a payout from us very quickly. And instead of going through WCB and things like that, or if they still want to go through WCB, they are more than welcome to, but we pay on top of that as well.
Okay, and correct me if I heard this wrong, but that's for workplace injuries, but also not workplace injuries?
Yeah, we cover outside of work as well, which is amazing.
Okay, so it doesn't matter whether you're on the job or not, and even if you are on the job, if you have your workers insurance through WCB here in Canada or your workers insurance in the States, you'll cover on top of that coverage as well.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure on the states because it's the same company down there, but it's a little bit different. I don't know the policies down there, but for us here in Canada, we pay 100% on top of WCB. Yes, and
Okay,
so a
wow.
lot of yeah. Sorry to cut you off there, but a lot of the times the injuries that we're seeing don't happen at work; they happen outside of work, like at soccer games or playing sports or things like that.
Yeah, I've had a few of those in my day. So what are some of the examples of some of the sicknesses and injuries that you're helping your clients through?
The number one illness right now is COVID. We cover for if you're hospitalized. We cover if you need to self quarantine at home. We cover for things like as major as cancer, heart attack, stroke, as minor or starting off as pneumonia, things like that. And then the injuries we cover for things like stitches, concussions, fractures, soft tissue damage, things like that.
Okay. I haven't had to deal with any stitches in a while, but my son has. He fell and smacked the back of his head. How does your coverage work if people are away from work for family members?
Yeah, so we cover for kids as well because you probably took time off of work to be with him, take him to get stitches and things like that, right? So kids can get paid the exact same way that adults can. So we have really amazing family plan discounts where the more kids you have, the bigger the discount. So it's pretty crazy. It's a pretty amazing company. We just kind of take what's been wrong really with the insurance industry and we just do everything completely different. It's been really amazing to work with them.
Yeah, it sounds like it. I've never really heard of living benefits insurance before. It's a little confusing. So, in terms of sort of switching the industry on its head and being different from those other organizations, what are some of the main ways that your insurance policies are different from other insurance policies?
Yeah, so a lot of people are familiar with life insurance or long term disability or WCB. And life insurance is amazing if you have dependent children or you own your home and you pass away. You don't want to leave them with that burden, but it only pays you if you pass away. Long term disability is great as well, but sometimes you have to be off work for 30, 60, 90, sometimes 120 days before the money can kick in. And WCB, you only can get paid while you're at work. So we do things completely different, and we pay you if you become hurt or sick and you survive. So you don't need to use your life insurance, or you may not be able to. And then we also, like I said before, don't do any waiting periods. So if you fall off a ladder and you break your arm today, you could potentially get a paycheck in like 3 days, or not a paycheck, sorry, a claim check in like 3 days. And then WCB, again, we cover for on and off work incidents. So it's pretty great.
Okay, awesome. And does this only work for business owners, the people that are sort of at high risk of needing their income, or does it work for employees? Like, who does it work for? Who doesn't it work for?
Yeah, so there's not a lot of people that it doesn't work for. It works for almost everybody. It's great for employers and for employees. The awesome thing about our coverage is that it's completely individually based. So if an employer wanted to just show this to their staff, they could. It's actually at no cost to them to opt into it for them. We've had a few companies, or not a few, a lot of companies that have done that for their staff, and it's been really great to provide them with that extra coverage for them.
Hmm. Okay. So it's insurance coverage that pays out almost right away, whether you're injured on work or not, whether you're an employee or not. It seems like it's a perfect scenario for anyone in a physical trade position. Is that where most of your clients are, is in trades, like, or do you also work with like office employees and stuff like that?
Yeah, it's kind of a mixture of both. The high risk occupations love it because, of course, they're the ones that are more at risk for work injuries and things like that. But it's for anybody. So we deal a lot with families, individuals, that type of thing, office workers. Yeah, it's great for everyone.
Okay. To go back to our listeners, specifically painters and painting business owners, if there's anything that you would like them to know about how they could best protect themselves, what would that be?
I think just knowing and even just being educated on what we do, if it's a fit, great. If not, at least you've been educated on what's out there. The most common thing that I hear about is, where were you 6 months ago, a year ago, could have really used you, because no one really has heard about us before because we don't do any advertising or marketing. So it's all word of mouth. So the number one thing is just to get educated and see if it's something that you want to implement in your life. And no one has ever turned around and said to me, "I'm so upset that you got me $4,200 for breaking my arm." So I would just say, like, just to get educated and see if it's a fit.
Yeah, that sounds great, because I think in our industry, a lot of people understand that word of mouth is the best way to market your painting company as well, and often it's the best painters that don't do any marketing. So it sounds like if we're just going to take that exact same philosophy over to insurance, and you guys aren't doing any marketing, and it's all word of mouth, and you guys are growing and busy as crazy, then it sounds like it's a perfect product
Mhm.
for protecting people. So say one of our listeners is a little bit concerned or worried about taking time away from work and having a loss of income and dealing with the stress that's involved with a loss of income. How do they reach out to you, and how do they connect with you after this video, so that they can look into your services as well?
Yeah, great. I think my number is at the bottom there, so you are more than welcome to give me a call. You can message me. I don't know what else is on there. Email, I think, is in there as well, and my website. You can go on there and actually book an appointment with me on there. And of course, like I said, it's just an education just to learn more about it, and we can just go from there.
Okay, awesome. I think the fact that you can allow people to take time off and still get paid is a massive difference in people's lives. So I think the work that you're doing, Janelle, is just incredibly important for so many people out there. So I want to thank you for joining us today. And I also just want to let everyone know that we'll have the contact information underneath this video as well, so that anybody's interested in Janelle's services, so that you can take care of yourself, take care of your family when you really, really need to. You can reach out to her after this video. I'm sure she'd be happy to help out. Janelle, do you have any other pointers that you want to give to anybody or anything?
No, I just normally say it's better to have insurance 10 years too early than 1 second too late. Thanks, Clay.
Yeah, that's a great point. Janelle, thank you so much for joining us today. It's always a pleasure.
Thank you so much. Have a great day.